Hey everybody, it's Thunder, the Desert Shaman. Okay, so why do I call myself the Desert Shaman? Why do I call myself a holy man? Why do I call myself a medicine man? Why do I call myself a shaman? Well, because that's what I am. Now, the thing that prompted this video was somebody made a comment to me, and it's okay. They're a friend of mine, made a comment to me about, well, shouldn't people come to you? Shouldn't they know you're a holy man or a medicine man? Should you advertise it? Well, I don't consider it advertising in the first place. If I am doing a video and I mention something about shamanism, or I'm coming from a shamanistic point of view, or a holy man's point of view. In Lakota, incidentally, it's a Wakasa Wakan, is a holy man. So holy man, well, what does holy man mean? What is, in Spanish, you could be a curandero, okay? Curandero, I guess that's how you say it. An herbalist, one who cures, one who is a curer. Do I cure? Do I do healings? Well, yeah, I do. Do I do energy work? Yeah, I do. Do I heal on all kinds of levels, energy levels, with words, with the laying on of the hands, with prayer, with all that good shit? Do I do that? Yeah, I do. What qualifies one to do that? Is it a calling? Is it something? Do you get a telegram one day from God that says you're going to be a holy man? Or does some tribal person come over to you and go, you're designated our community holy man? Well, no, that's not the fucking way it happens. That's not the way it happens. It's an inner thing. It's something you just know. It's something that I've often said is a blessing and a curse at the same time. Why? Because it is. Because the more you know you don't want to know, kind of, sort of. But let's get back to the qualifications. Let's talk about what qualifies one. Let's say, can you go to college and get a degree in being a holy man? Can you get a master's degree in holy manism or whatever? No. Now, what you can do is devote your life to spiritual practices. What you can do is be realized from say, the age of 10 or 11 or 12. You can have a realization come upon you that you're different, that you're somehow different, that you're somehow tapping into the Akashic records, knowing things that other people don't know, a sensitive of this, of that. And then your life from that point on is a little bit different than the normal person's life. And the other thing is you devote yourself to spiritual practices all your fucking life, okay? And I can honestly say that I've done that. I can honestly say that I have devoted years and years and years and years of study and practice into techniques, meditation techniques, energy techniques, thought, different kinds of thought, different kinds of psychological knowings and learnings. It's really hard to describe. Going through an evolutionary process with the Kundalini meditation, and I've explained that before, about how that increases one's perception of reality, how it raises your consciousness, how it puts you on a different frequency. I was already on a very high frequency from birth, okay? So is it wrong then for me to say at times, I'm a shaman, or I'm a yogi, or I'm a medicine man. Well, I'm all of those fucking things, okay? And I'll say it right now, and I don't have any problem with saying it. How else are people going to know? And why do you want people to know? Well, you want them to know because you're here for a purpose, and that purpose is to help them, okay? How are they going to get help if they don't know who you are? How are they going to get help if they don't know who you are? How are they going to pay heed to what you have to say unless you say, hey, I'm a wisdom keeper, or I'm a shaman, or I practice shamanistic things? How are they going to fucking know? Are they just supposed to intuit it? Are they supposed to psychologically know it, or pick up on it, or whatever? And is it wrong? Well, let's look at some other medicine men. Let's look at Lame Deer. He was one of the greatest LAKOTA medicine men ever. Okay, and he was also a pipe carrier. I do believe he carried the sacred bundle at one time. And he was in close alliance with Fool's Crow, who was another favorite of mine. Well, both of these guys had books written about them. Both of these guys consented to having a book written about them, and explaining everything about them, even their past life, some of their bad boy stuff they did when they were bad boys, before they became quote unquote holy men. Which is kind of, they were always a holy man. Whether you're a womanizer or a drinker or do naughty things in the course of your life, it's where you end up, it's not the journey that got you there, okay? So anyway, my point being is they had books written about him. Well, is this a form of advertising? Well, yeah, I guess. Wouldn't you think? I mean, they actually went to authors, noted authors. Richard Erdos was one of the authors of Lame Deer, Seeker of Vision. Actually, Lame Deer showed up on his door. Well, actually, Lame Deer met him somewhere along the line. I don't know how he met him. It was just a chance meeting, and Richard offered to do a book on him, his biography. And Lame Deer consented to have that done, and Richard was kind of dragging his feet or whatever, and all of a sudden Lame Deer showed up at his door with a cardboard box. He opened his door, and Richard did, and goes, wow, hi Lame Deer, what are you doing here? And Lame Deer goes, I'm moving in. I'm moving in. And you're going to write that book about me. And Richard just was aghast, and he goes, well, okay, I guess if that's what it's meant to be, I guess that's what it's going to be. Anyway, so my point being here is that Lame Deer didn't have any problem with him being known, okay, as a medicine man, or putting that out there, putting that thought out there, even to the extent of revealing some very, very tawdry facets of his life, okay? So what is a medicine man? Well, a medicine man is one who uses some kind of medicine, okay? And that medicine can be herbal, or it can be, if it's medicinal, okay, if it means heal, to heal. Medicinal means to use something to make you better, okay? And what form could that take? Well, that could take any freaking form. That could take the form of medicine, herbal medicine, or it could take the form of ritual, okay, prayer and ritual, and saging, or it could take the form of massage. It could take the form of laying on of hands. It could take the form of energy cleansing and energy transference, laying on of the hands. Did I say that before? Probably. Counseling. See, a true medicine man's got all of those areas covered, or knows enough about those areas to do healings. And then the other thing is, shamans or medicine men are known to go off on trips. Okay, I'm not talking about a trip to the grocery store, or a trip to Colorado, or I'm talking about mind trips. I'm talking about taking peyote, taking psychedelics, journeying, okay, in other realms, journeying in the higher realms. Now, this is also done through meditation, and it's done through mind-altering plants, that type of thing. Has Thunder done that? Well, yes, I can honestly say I've done a lot of that. Okay. Meditation, journeys, visions. It's all there. I've been there. How about studying different forms of healing? Well, yes. How about knowing different forms of healing? Yes. I know everything from psychological methods. I've often talked about neuro linguistic programming. NLP, I've talked about hypnosis. I've talked about how do you think I know? How do you think I know what the powers to be are doing with their covert programming and propaganda, and how they use mass hypnosis and NLP and all that stuff on people. How do you think I know all that stuff? Because I know how to use that stuff. That's how. And I've also read extensively on how that's used on people, so that I can inform people and warn them about it. So yes, so a modern day medicine man is a little bit different than the guy that was out in the 1860s sitting in a teepee. Well, everybody knew who he was because he lived in the community. It was a small, close-knit community. Well, so are things different now? Well, yeah, I'd say so. I'd say that if there's 300 million people living in America, it'd be kind of hard to know who your local medicine man is. So I have books out, okay. I have books out also. I have award-winning books by major publishers that talk about me and and my belief systems. So I'm known on that level. I'm known on the internet. And so I don't have any qualms about saying, hey, yeah, this is Thunder the Desert Shaman, or I'm a medicine man, I'm here to help you, that type thing. Don't have any qualms about it at all. See, there's this big mystique in the tribal community where they almost go, oh, how dare you call yourself a medicine man, or how dare you say that? That's a holy thing. Oh, really? Well, yeah, it is. But if you are a medicine man, if you are a holy man, yes, it's good to remain humble. I get that point. Okay, I get the point of remaining humble. But it's not like I'm going, hey, I'm a medicine man. Look at me, man. I can do this and I can do that. No, that's not, you see, that's not the way I have ever mentioned anything about myself. I have not ever gone that route. I have not gone, hey, look at me, place me on a pedestal. True holy men, true medicine men will tell the people straight out, as I have told people and disciples and clients and others many, many, many times. Don't place me on a pedestal. Don't place me on a pedestal. I'm not better than you. I am not a person that considers himself better than you, or that should be revered or anything like that. Respected, yes, okay, that's cool, but placed on a pedestal above anybody else, not really. No, that's not something that any medicine man wants. Respect is what he wants. Honor is what he wants. To be honored and respected. And so there's nothing wrong with that, because that's something that you do to any individual. Okay? Recognition, not really, not in the sense of like being recognized as like getting some kind of an award or something for being a medicine man, or adulation. The reward is in itself. The reward is in being that. The reward is in knowing that you are. So if I casually mention it in a video, or if I say I'm a wisdom keeper, or if I say I'm in the line of shamans, and well, then it's not a form of self-adulation. It's just an informing of, okay, informing you. Just like I sometimes say I'm a pilot, or sometimes I say which I am. Or sometimes I say I'm a martial arts, I've been into the martial arts for 40 years. That, saying that, let's say I'm talking on the subject of flying, or I'm talking on the subject of weather, or geoengineering, or something that has to do with flying. Well then, yes, I would mention the fact that yes, I am a certified, fully rated pilot. And I've said that before. Now, am I bragging about it? No, I'm qualifying the fact that I'm talking on a certain subject. And if I am talking about flying or aviation, then that qualifies to you, okay? It qualifies me as not an expert, but at least having knowledge about it, okay? And the other thing is, let's say I'm talking about the martial arts, or I'm talking about strategy, or I'm talking about war. Well, then I could qualify that I know about these things by mentioning the fact that I am a warrior, or that I am a martial artist and have been practicing that for decades. And that I have studied the philosophical trappings surrounding that. So that's the same exact thing as if I say I'm a Wakan, or a medicine man, or a holy man, or a shaman. That qualifies the fact that if I'm teaching you a technique, okay, or if I'm talking to you about matters having to do with that, then that qualifies me in your mind. And it's good to qualify yourself, and that's not really placing yourself on a pedestal, or that's not saying I'm something special, okay? It's just saying I have knowledge of this particular area because I have been a practitioner of it. So anyway, I hope that settles any doubt or question about if I say I'm a holy man or a Wakan, you better fucking believe that I am, okay? Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is I just said fucking, right? And so, if he's holy, would he curse? Would he say this, or would he say that, or would he try to represent himself in a certain way? No, I represent myself as who I am. And I represent myself as somebody that understands that words, okay, are just words. They can be used to indicate emphasis. or to indicate a certain feeling. And are they bad? No, because a shaman knows that no words are particularly bad. It's how they're used that might be bad. But if you want to lend emphasis to something, instead of just saying, yeah, that's true, you could say, shit, yeah, that's true. So basically, you're using that as an exclamation point, so to speak. And I don't have problems using four-letter words because to a lot of people that means, since they use them all the time, that means, oh yeah, well, he's real. He's not some talking head that's on there that is trying to behave in a certain manner, is trying to be something he's not, is trying to be. Because when you go to news stations, do you see anybody saying the word fuck or hell yes or talking about sex or anything like that? See, there's no limitations on a person that is a true shaman, okay, or has an understanding of shamanistic techniques or thought. And see, I also don't claim to be a shaman of any one tribe or any one belief system. I've studied them all. And I've studied exactly where the word shaman comes from, which has its origins in Russia, actually, in Siberia. That's where this word shaman came from. And now they're finding out, interestingly enough, that people like the Apaches or the Athabascan people that spoke that language could have come from Russia. Okay. So isn't that interesting that the word shaman would have originated from there, and that so-called quote unquote Native Americans, Apache people, and others of that Athabascan language could have come from there, could have come from places that we don't even know. Isn't that interesting? So you can't ever pigeonhole things. You can't ever say, oh, this is that and that is this and so forth and so on. Yeah, so I thought I'd just touch on this because actually I'm thankful that person mentioned that to me so that I could do another video. I think I've done them in the past about this. But do a more recent one that kind of explains that whole thing about who's holy and who isn't holy, and can only certain people, yes, I have indigenous blood, but can only certain people be shamans of a certain bloodline? Well, fuck no. There were shamans in the Viking culture, and I'm partly Nordic too. So, hope that answers that question for that person and other people that may be wondering the same thing about thunder here. It's just something that is. It is what it is, baby. Okay, I guess I'll leave it there today, and just say adios.